Everyone, you are watching Rob's MetalWorks, and tonight we are here at the Rockbox Vibes Event Center to support the Summer Slaughter Tour for 2025. And it brings me great pleasure. Yes, I had to try to hook up with my man Blake Ibanez from Fugitive and Power Trip. Sir, welcome back to our show. It's always great to see you.
Thank you for having me. Anybody who wants to talk to me is like, I'm flattered, so thank you for coming out. And
dude, you know, when I think about Blake Ibanez now, I'm like, this guy's like the future legend of Texas metal, man. That's like, you're filling in all these gaps because, you know, we're seeing a lot of the old Texas legends kind of move on and fade by the wayside, and you're the new breed, man. You're up and coming. So thank you so much. You know, I've always been a fan of yours. That's why we're here.
That's very flattering. Thank you. You know, I've been just doing this since I was a kid, so it's like I'm just happy to be playing music. You know, appreciate people like you that are, you know, interested in anything I do. So appreciate it.
Fugitive has been around since 2001, and I'm so happy we were able to support the Maniac EP. And it seems like just ever since I last saw you, a lot of good things have been happening. How do you kind of feel right now about the progression that Fugitive is making in the national and worldwide scene?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, you know, we've only been a band for a few years. I think we started in 2021 or something like that. And yeah, I mean, just to be able to play shows around the country and go out of the country sometimes and play has been amazing. So I think like, you know, just like having played, you know, done Power Trip for so long and like, you know, played a lot of shows around Texas and other places, and especially with the internet now, it's like I feel like people can kind of, you know, check out what you're doing a lot quicker. So, you know, to be able to do all this stuff so quickly has been really amazing. So, no, I'm really lucky. You know, that was kind of my goal with this band, was just to keep playing music, you know, keep writing music, keep playing music. So to be out here and, you know, on a tour and getting to play, and especially with my guys and all that, it's been great. So I'm, you know, happy that we've been able to do all this stuff. It's been going great. So even within, you know, Power Trip doing stuff again, it's been a little busy, but we've been able to still, you know, make some things happen. So I'm glad that everything's happening. It's great.
All your Fort Worth brothers.
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody except for Victor.
Yeah.
He's not. He's Austin.
I'm glad that you shared those sentiments about Power Trip too, because I remember when Fugitive started, Power Trip was kind of, you know, in limbo and hiatus, and you came back onto the scene. And I remember you telling me last time, you know, Rob, I just had, you know, this inkling to play music and write music. And you shared with me at that time some of the differences between Fugitive and Power Trip. But now, as we sit here in the middle of 2025, Power Trip is back. So is your plan still to stay committed to Fugitive as its own unique band?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're two different bands, two different sets of songs, you know. I mean, I have like kind of different ways that I do things now that, like, you know, might rub off on, you know, whatever Power Trip does next. But overall, I want to keep the bands kind of, you know, in their own lane a little bit. But, you know, we have a lot of, you know, there's a lot of people, a lot of mouths to feed now, you know, and a lot of people I want to, you know, help get out there and play, you know. So
that's cool, man.
Yeah, but like, I'm trying to, you know, keep them both kind of their own thing and different. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's just like, just trying to write good songs, you know. So if they sound, you know, one band sounds, you know, it's always going to sound kind of like Fugitive because it's me and Seth. Blake, so it's like, well, it's Seth singing too now. So it's like, you know, there's always going to be that. But, you know, the songs will be different. I'm not going to write the same songs. So
you're like the Mark Tremonti of hardcore thrash now, dude. You know, a lot of people riding the wave along with you. And that's cool, man. But, you know, not to take anything away from those dudes. Those guys are pretty great players, I know, that are in Fugitive. So that's awesome, man. I'm so happy that things are going well for you.
Thank you.
The I mentioned the 5-song EP Maniac came out in 22. Looking back now, I mean, it's been a little while. How do you feel about that EP? Is that a good first step forward for you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it kind of like laid the groundwork for what we're doing now, and it was a little different than what I'd been doing in Power Trip. So it was like, kind of got us out on the right foot. And yeah, I mean, I think it turned out cool. You know, always like trying to grow and improve, and there's always something you look back, you're like, I wish I would have done that, or wrote another song like that.
Yeah.
You know, but all in all, like I do that with everything that I write or work on. I'm never like fully satisfied.
I know, dude.
It's
You musician guys are like,
maybe for like 2 minutes when it comes out, and then I'm already like looking back and obsessing over
we
details.
could have made it that better.
Yeah, it always could have been better, but like,
Yeah.
I think it turned out cool, and like I think, it brought us to where we are now, and that goes for Power Trip and Fugitive
Yeah.
to start the band and have it lead us to this place where, we're able to go on tour and Power Trip's able to play and Fugitive's able to put out stuff. Like it's a great thing. I'm very, like I said, I'm very
Cool.
thankful and just lucky to be playing music again, because there was a point where I couldn't. So
Right.
never forget that.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's not, the pandemic fucked everybody up. But
Yeah.
the Spheres of Virulence, your latest single, came out this year, and as we talk, we're going to jump into that right now. But I remember, and I think everybody knows that you're the mastermind, you're the heart of these bands, and your vibe is in there, your sound is in there. But now with Spheres, did you try to get like Seth and some of the other guys involved and more involved in the writing process or the engineering and production of new music, or is that still something that you hold close to your chest?
Well, it's kind of just the way it works out. Like, I mean, generally, I just sort of like, I started writing songs more so by myself, like after the last Power Trip record, because I was like, Chris from Power Trip moved to Philadelphia, so he was kind of far away, and I was working on stuff a lot by myself. And then I just kind of, the pandemic comes around and everything, and I just started kind of writing songs all by myself. And so that's kind of how I started doing things, and I kind of like being able to do it that way. Like, I'll usually get a pretty good idea how the song's going to, go all the way to the end, and then I'll bring it into the room and we'll jam it out, maybe make some tweaks along the way. But generally I like to, I'll sort of do it front to back, and then, me and Seth will like, we'll work on the vocals and stuff together. Like he'll write lyrics, and then we'll sit down and we'll demo them out and really go through it all. And like, we plan it a lot ahead. So it's kind of cool, because we get to really try to be sure about how everything's going to go before we get in the studio. So
Right,
it's like, it's
right.
not, no question marks, but
Right.
yeah, so we demo everything out, work on everything together, and it's a collaborative thing that's fun. It's like we trust each other, and we kind of work well together. So it kind of worked out. It's sort of, I guess, came together the same way the other songs have come together in terms of the creative process. But we were working with Nick, and
Let's go there.
Sure, yeah. So yeah, we
How do you say his last name? Nick
Raskulinecz.
Raskulinecz. There you go.
Yeah, we were in the studio with him for these couple songs that we recorded, and he had some ideas for just like percussion and stuff, and adding some different dimensions to
And
a
he's
little bit of it.
he's in Nashville.
Yeah, he's in Nashville,
Yeah.
and he had we didn't make tons of changes, but there were some crucial things, I would say, percussively, if that's a word. Percussion,
Yeah,
percussionally,
Yeah.
that we tweaked, and I think it made the song better. So it was fun. So yeah, it pretty much was. It was a similar thing, but different in some ways, because it's different than any song that I've written or that we've written. So
And
yeah.
for all the people who may not know or not that involved with the the back end of recording music, Nick Raskulinecz is a very acclaimed engineer and producer out of Tennessee. He's worked with Foo Fighters, Korn, whole bunch of other big names that slip my mind at the moment. But yeah, and you were telling me, Blake, off camera, that now because you guys kind of got like a deal, that you were able to get connected with someone like him. Even as an underground band, and I was telling you, the only other underground band that I think he's ever worked with is Death Angel, and that's just because this guy, has high integrity, and he's a fan of Death Angel, so obviously he's a fan of what you're doing.
Yeah, he's done. I think he's done more stuff,
Okay.
like technically underground than
Yeah.
you'd think, but it probably flies under the radar because of all the high profile
For
stuff.
sure.
But yeah, he's just a music fan. I think he's still very passionate about music and new bands and whatever. And if he likes the band, likes the music, I think he's willing to work with anybody, just depending on how much time we have, or we can, it's really just about time, you know what I mean? Because
Sure.
he's a busy guy, and, so I think just because on Blue Grape, the label we're on now, Blue Grape Music, the head of Blue Grape, Dave Rath, is a good friend of ours who I've kind of been involved with for a long time, but he's been in the music industry a long time and has still a lot of relationships with these guys. So
Sure.
you know, when he calls, they seems like they pick up the phone,
For
they
sure.
listen. So, but you know, Nick's an old metalhead, so he was into what we were doing. So yeah, it was really fun. It was fun to get to work with him and just like, you know, see how he does things and go to a different place and do it. And it was a great experience. So yeah, I'm glad we got to do it.
I always tell all these young cats who come on our show, I said, man, relationships are like the most important thing in the music business. And they always come back to you. So, never burn your bridges, peeps. That's great, man. Remember last time we talked, you had told me, you says, Rob, maybe we might put together an LP. Is that still something you want to do?
For what?
For Fugitive.
Yeah, it's, I've been writing a lot of songs the last couple of years, and now we're just trying to figure out where everything's going to go. And, how we're going to finish everything. So I don't really know yet. I mean, we've just been playing all these shows. Power Trip's had a bunch of shows, and we're kind of at the tail end of our little, reunion thing, and we're going to start making some moves and trying to figure out what we're going to do. And then Fugitive's putting out some music, and we recorded some more songs. So there's a lot of music. I mean, I'm glad that all this time I've spent writing music is finally like paying off a little bit. Yeah, because I've been sitting on it for a long time. But because it's weird because like I've put out a decent amount of music the last couple of years, I guess, but there's so much more that hasn't come out. So I'm like, I really just need the time to finish it, because I've been between both bands and Power Trip getting back together and doing tours and whatever. It's like it's just been hard to get things done. I'm happy to be playing, but we kind of have to just like shut everything down for a while, like probably towards the end of the year, and just hunker down and start finishing some of this stuff and getting new music out, because it's just I want to put out a record. It's been a while since I put out an LP. So
I think Fugitive is ready for that, man.
Yeah,
I think so. But I also know that if you're signed to a label like Blue Grape, they might have some input. And they have their own little marketing strategy. And I think from what I've seen, many different labels, depending of course on size, will say, hey, let's continue to do the single thing, or let's do an EP thing, or let's do an LP thing. And I don't know, when it comes to like, you have these big bosses kind of introducing their input to it, how much of an impact that makes in the decision at the end of the day,
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing is that Blue Grape is an independent label, so it's Dave and I think Case Wessels, the original founder, Roadrunner.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
They started the label, and so it's really cool. And with Fugitive, we've really been kind of almost like a side band. You know what I mean? We're not a full-time touring band, so it's like when I think of putting out an album, it'd be great, but that's kind of something that makes more sense when you're touring and you're really milking it. Like we'll put out as much as we can, but that's probably why we haven't done one yet, because it's like we've only been a band for a couple of years.
But Blake, I think you could be though.
Yeah.
Fugitive definitely could be.
Yeah. No, we could. We
could
if we didn't have so much going on, but we're enjoying the ride and what we're getting to do so far, and I think we've put out like enough music to what we've done so far, but we could always put out more. I know people really want an album. I do too, but we'll see. The rest of this year, we'll start figuring all that stuff out.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. You guys, as I mentioned in my intro here, is part of the Summer Slaughter tour, and I thought it was really cool. And I'm not sure if you saw like the latest flyer, but you guys are like the only true direct support for tonight's show.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I
was like, yeah, that's the way it should be. They're from Texas.
Yeah. I mean, I think the tour kind of came together interestingly. It changed a few times since since we got involved. So there was like, some band that was supposed to be on it, and then, something happened with them, and then there's been a couple changes. So, but we're still here. We love Hatebreed, and we're happy to be a part of this, and thankful that they brought us on, and happy to be here. So yeah, the shows have been good so far, and I think I think tonight's might be the best one so far. And San Antonio's always good, so I'm looking forward to it.
It's gonna be sweaty with all the satanic Hispanics out there, brother. Yeah, it always gets crazy in San Antonio, Blake. You know that.
It does.
I'm glad you mentioned Jamey Jasta, because I remember earlier in the year I had read that he bought the rights to Summer Slaughter, that it was his thing now, kind of like Milwaukee Metal Fest is his thing now.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I think it's great for these events, because Jamey Jasta has a lot of integrity. He's been part of the scene for a long, long time, and he knows heavy metal.
Yeah, he's a really good guy, and I think he's just, you know, he cares about the integrity of all this, and he cares about trying to lift these, you know, bands up and do all this stuff, and you know, he's always been involved, it seems like. So yeah, it's really cool that he's doing that, because, you know, someone's got to do it, and I think he's the right guy to do it. And you know, from the outside looking in, it's like, wow, it's cool. He's kind of sticking his neck out for the whole metal world to, you know, try to like revive some of these brands and revive some of these things, because you know, yeah, if they, you know, these things can all go away and they may or may not come back, and you know, it's like these are good things for sure for the music world. So I think it's really cool that he's doing that. So it seems like obviously his heart is in it, and he cares, you know, and it shows. So,
I felt that way when I found out he took over Milwaukee Metal Fest.
Yeah,
because I remember the old cat Jack Koshik. I'm not sure if you know who that is, but
no.
He was the old owner of the Milwaukee Metal Fest, and he did a whole bunch of other tours. Remember, he did a big show here in San Antonio called the November to Dismember, and it was kind of a big festival thingy. But you know, it kind of seems like, you know, even at my tenure, that there is a transition in the guard happening in all facets of heavy metal, and it's good, man. It's good, because metal's going to stay alive.
Yeah, it's an interesting world out there. I mean, there's a lot of different new bands and styles that have been coming back, that, you know, coming back really strongly. And yeah, it's like I feel like it's a kind of a mystery. Like every year there's like new things happening, and you're like, you know, I just kind of do what I do, and like, you know, hopefully fit in that somewhere. And you know, this is like I know what I know how to do, and that's it, you know. So
and I think that's good enough. You're right in the thick of it, bro. I that's the way I kind of see it as a fan, and as what we do here at our program. What is the rest of the summer? Do you have any plans yet for the rest of the summer or the fall?
Yeah, so this tour goes for, I think, another like week or 10 days, something like that. Yeah. And then we got about a month off, and then Fugitive does a couple shows in they're playing Nashville, and then we're playing in Edmonton at some fest, I think called Infest. And then September, Power Trip's got shows all month. We're playing we're going to Brazil, playing a fest in Brazil.
Wow.
And then we're doing the Slayer show in Hershey, Pennsylvania, with like Exodus and Cavalera.
Crazy.
Yeah, and then what else? And then we play with Lamb of God for 2 shows. So we're playing like, I think, Durant and outside of Chicago and Hammond. So we got shows all September, and then I think we have a couple things in October. Fugitive's got a show, and then I think we do the Lamb of God cruise, Power Trip does, and then we're pretty much done, and I think we're kind of like going to be done for a while. You know, I like playing, but again, it's like to really work on stuff and have time to, you know, sit on things, think about things, work on things. You know, you got to sort of have some time.
Got to come down from all that, Blake, a little bit.
Yeah, because even playing on the weekends, it's like, you know, if you got shows on the weekends, then you're doing stuff all week because you're going to be gone, you know, hanging out with your girlfriends. You know, doing errands. So you don't really have time to work on stuff either. So we really just need to like not play shows. And
then everybody's fucking calling you, wanting your time.
Yeah,
I hear you.
I
hear you. Do you know Gary Holt? You have ever hung out with Gary Holt?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I'm sure you'll be hanging with him when you see him.
Yeah, I see him. You know, and anytime he comes through, I usually see him.
You gotta hang with him, bro.
He's a good guy. Yeah, he's a very friendly dude that just loves to hang out and keep in touch with people. And yeah, I love Gary.
Yeah, me too.
Big hero.
I haven't seen him in a long, long time. Yeah. But yeah, I see your your guitar, which is one of my favorites. We talked about that guitar last time, the Off-Scent Jackson. I thought you might have retired it already, but you still got it out.
Yeah, it's honestly just sounds good and feels good. I'm just used to it, you know, and I'm at this point where I'm very particular about, I don't know what it is. Yeah, like if something's a little off with something like a guitar or anything, it just kind of, I like to be comfortable, you know, so whatever that is. So I've just been playing that guitar a really long time. It does, and it has a sound that I'm like used to, that I like, you know. So anytime I switch it up, it's always like not the same, you know.
And it stays in tune.
It does stay in tune, and that's
during all the thrashing.
That's a big thing, because I play other guitars that don't stay in tune, so I don't want to have to worry about that. So yep, still playing that.
If you ever have a little downtime, let me make a recommendation to you. Check out the I don't know, maybe you've already seen it, the Kirk Hammett book, the Kirk Hammett guitar book. Have you seen
I
that?
haven't, but that sounds cool.
It is. Yeah, he released a book, bro. It's like a fucking 400 pages.
Wow.
And that book weighs about 5 pounds, bro. You can kill somebody with that book.
Is it like all his guitars?
It's his
Yeah,
book,
he's got.
It has all his guitars from that old Jackson like that to the Fernandez Stratocaster to his old 79 original 79 Gibson Black V that now they issue as an Epiphone. But yeah, his original. You got to check that book out, man. It's cool.
Yeah.
I did a video on it, so if you want to go to our YouTube, you can check it out. I talk about it. Yeah, I loved it so much. All right, Blake. Thank you so much for sharing. Anything else you want to share, man? Anything else that fans of Fugitive or Power Trip should know that you want to get out to the world?
Fugitive will have a new song coming out, I think, in soon.
Yeah, you said Nick worked on 2 songs, and I was like, what? Where's that second song?
There's another one.
All right.
When we can finish it. I mean,
Sure.
it's recorded. We're just mixing it, so
Sure.
that'll be out at some point soon. And then, from there, I mean, there's a lot of new music coming. It's just taking a little while because we're busy.
Sure.
We had a really, really great year just between Power Trip and Fugitive. The Pantera tour and everything. So it was an amazing year. Thank you to everybody that's came out to see us and supported us. Very thankful.
Thank you. That's beautiful.
Just looking forward to putting out a bunch of new music, and I'm excited about it. Pretty ready to go in terms of like writing and working in the studio. So there'll be a lot more coming. It's taking a little bit, but thank you for listening and supporting us. We're really appreciative. So
I love your humility, Blake, because now, you are a well-known musician. Your bands are well-known. And I want to thank you for giving us your time. We're Rob's MetalWorks here in San Antonio as a supporter. And more than that, we are fans of your bands and your music. So thank you, my friend.
Oh, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Seriously.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
And I can't let you go without saying something about your SA Slayer shirt, bro. Come on. You're in San Antonio. SA Slayer.
You know I had to rep it.
Fuck, yeah.
I'm a big fan of the old Texas metal scene. So,
Cool.
Anytime I get to rep
Cool.
the old guys, that the forefathers.
For sure.
I'm always there. And not to mention it's just a badass shirt. But, I love the history of San Antonio metal scene, the Texas metal scene, Corpus Christi, Devastation, all these bands. Like,
for sure.
We're big fans, and I respect the elders. I love old music, and I love like where it all came from. It's really inspiring to me to listen to all that stuff. So yeah, shout out to SA Slayer, shout out Devastation, shout out Militia, everybody.
Yeah,
all the gods of Texas metal, Hellstar. Everybody.
Yeah, oh my God, I was about to say Hellstar.
We can
for
keep
sure.
going.
You ever met Larry Barragan? Larry Barragan from Hellstar?
Yeah.
Larry Barragan and Hellstar.
Yeah.
That dude I just interviewed a few weeks ago. Fucking mastermind, that dude. Great songwriter, great soloist. Their brand new record is going to come out on Massacre. Is going to drop on September 5th. Brand new record.
Wow.
Full length record. Amazing. You got to check it out
That's
when it comes
awesome.
out.
Yeah.
Check it out, bro.
Glad they're still doing it. That's sick.
Yeah. That motherfucker's, what do you say, Rick? He's 61 years old. 61, bro.
These are the OGs, man.
Those are the OGs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Blake,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Have a great show tonight, my friend.
Thank you.
Safe travels as you go around the globe and the country. Don't forget my boy. Look at his Power Trip tattoo.
I can't
You
believe
didn't forget
it.
about
I know.
that.
That's amazing. It's there forever. It's never
It's
going
there
away.
forever.
I guess you could go over it with something else, but hopefully you don't do that. It looks good.
This interview too, Blake. All our on-camera chats will live on forever, my friend. So again, thank you. Remember, everybody out there, how can you forget? The band is called Fugitive. The man is called Blake Ibanez, and you saw him only right here on Rob's MetalWorks.